everybody, and welcome to the FFC Show. My name is Thomas Harkin. Today, I'm joined by Rhydian Cummings from Eagles Muay Thai in Barry. He is fighting Jordan Edwards on Rhondda Rampage 7 on August the 29th. Rhydian comes in with a 1-1 record after fighting Will Lunt on our last show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to Rhydian just to give himself a bit of an introduction. So over to you, brother. Just a bit of introduction about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Rhydian Cummings. I'm from Barry, and I got into Muay Thai about a year and a half ago, and just been trying to build from there.
What
And
took
now,
you into the gym the first? What took you into the gym the first time?
so I was boxing,
Mm.
and then I heard people talking about Muay Thai in a few different places, and sort of become interested. Watched a few videos on YouTube, things like that. Then started watching some MMA stuff. One of my mates told me that there was Muay Thai down the island. So that's Barry Island. And then I sort of looked at the Facebook, gave Martin a message, and then started going.
Mm. What was
Just
what did it feel like transitioning from boxing across to Muay Thai when you first started? Because obviously
um
you don't get kicked in the leg in boxing, do you?
no. So the boxing that was on and off from from early teens till like a year and a half ago. I was on and off all the time, never really consistent with it. But it was more with the Muay Thai. I just had to pay attention to what Martin was saying and pointers other people were giving me, and just pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
way you're standing, how light you are on your feet, stuff like that. So
So with the transition across, obviously, like you said, you just had to pay attention a little bit more. What is there anything that stands out to you in training? So, for example, like obviously certain training aspects, like checking a kick or throwing a kick obviously is a little bit different than just using your hands. Do you know what I mean? So like, was it a surprise when you first transitioned across?
no, it
No.
wasn't. No. Um, Checking kicks is like nah. I expected things like this.
Mhm.
This is sort of what interested me because there's more in your arsenal than in boxing.
Yeah. So what was it like? Obviously, you said with Martin. So Martin Burns, head coach down at Eagles Muay Thai in Barry. So what was it like training in Barry? Give us a bit of a rundown for like a normal training session, or actually give us a rundown of your week. What's your days?
Um, so it's 3 days a week. So you got 2 hours on Monday and Wednesday, and then Friday we got 1 hour of hit training and just proper going for it. Monday is we do our warm up and things like that. Just loads of moving. And then we go on the pads, cover couple of combinations for an hour,
Mm.
something like that. And then we'll go into like sparring then. Or what you'll do is you'll give us drills to do.
Yeah,
So one person has legs and one person has hands. One person defends, one person attacks. And then you go into light sparring. And then the next round, when you change over, you call some more stuff like that,
Okay.
which is really good. You know, getting us to use only the left side or only the right side. Just sort of trying to make us hone off, you know, these aspects of the fight.
Mm. So you're coming into this one with a 1-1 record, and obviously you fought Will Lunt from Beals Muay Thai on the Rhondda Rampage. Was it six or five or six? Six, I think it was, wasn't it? Because it was the first one in the welfare. So you coming in with 1-1. So how do you feel coming into this one after just having a victory in your last one out?
It like I can't. Me personally, I can't ride off of that last win. It felt amazing, but I'm not riding that that train.
Yeah, I got you. You're not riding the wave with it. You
No,
kind of go in with what's in front of you.
I'm fighting to get better. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Every single time, it's like everyone on the podcast has said somewhere along the lines of, it's all about experience. Everyone wants to win, so obviously I've got that in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I get what you're saying. Obviously, you're just doing it for the experience and obviously trying to get, go with it and stuff. But do you think that coming in off a win is better than coming in off a loss, considering obviously that, you've got a different test. And what I mean by different test is this is a different discipline. You're fighting K1 this time now in you. So it's
K1, yes, different rules,
and then not just that. What do you fight that in your last one? Was it 72? Was it 75? I can't really remember.
That was 72. So against Will, it was 72. So I'd come into that fight off a loss. So my first fight was in the Sports and Social Club where we train upstairs in the venue. And yeah, I had this big, I had a head guard on. My opponent was slightly taller than me. I'd only been training for 6 months at the time. I just got in there and tried my best, So from that, I came into this fight against Will, or the last fight against Will, with a bit more like I got to win. Do you know what I mean?
Kind of prove a point.
And then, I did. I watched the fight back then after and just immediately started picking it apart. Things I could have done better, things I shouldn't have done, which will, for example, one of them was I threw a kick without setting him up with punches first.
Yeah.
And I tried carrying so much momentum through it that I actually spat, which I shouldn't have done. And that's just an example of a few of the things. So I'm just picking at it,
It's good that you can do that. Like you're only, obviously, you say you're quite young in your career. Like you say, you've been training for, what do you say, a year and a half, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Year and 8 months.
Year and 8 months. You've been year and 8 months and you're already, that like hyper analytical. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're already looking at it. And it shows that obviously you've got the mind to progress, which is always exciting, when it comes to watching you fight as well, because obviously in your mind, you want to get better than what you were in your last one. So that just makes it more exciting. And especially now, and when I say a different test is with the K1 style, I think that I'm not going to say that Muay Thai kind of suits you, but obviously you do come from a Thai gym. With a K1 style, there's zero clinching, there's no catching.
Yeah.
So like, do you think that that's going to be a test or a difference in I say difference in skill, but you know what I'm saying, like a difference in test? Like, do you think it's going to go any different?
No, I don't think so. In the last fight, I knew because I'd watched his fight that Will had been beaten in the clinch.
Yeah.
With knees to the body, right? So I knew that he had been training clinch, or potentially could have been training clinch.
Yeah.
I wasn't too good, so I was sort of like sort of like stifling it, like stopping it from happening as best I could. So I don't really think the clinching aspect would be a problem. You know, I know it's one hand knee and then let go. Am I correct?
We'll say it again, one hand knee and then
one hand on the back of the head and then in
no.
No?
So ISKA rules are no clinch at all, no catch at all. So you can't grab on and throw a knee.
Okay, so it's long knees.
Yeah. So ISKA rule set. So it's long knees. It's what Wally does on Adrenaline as well, on Adrenaline Fight Night. So it's the ISKA rule set. So the reason we've changed that is more shows now around us doing the ISKA, and it opens up more opportunities for fighters to progress into further. You know, like you there's titles and stuff that we can work on towards. It's the same as when we work with the WMO. You know, it's kind of like giving fighters another opportunity. So that's why we're going with the ISK, and then we kind of like keeping it all under the same rule set, so it makes it easier, because you know what it's like, man. You go to some shows, one show is completely different fucking rule set to another one.
That's what I mean. So,
you know, so that's why we're trying to, you know, we're sticking with the same kind of rule set as the ISKA. So yeah, sorry to throw you off, but yes, as you said, long knees. I took you off on long knees.
Right. So no clinch at all. No grabbing on the back of the neck at all.
No, and no catching legs like that.
Yeah. So anything to do with the clinch or grab knees or anything like that, it does not a problem to me. I don't instinctively do that sort of stuff anyway.
Okay.
I've got a proper like think about doing it. I'm still at that stage. Do you know what I mean? Catching the kicks, I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. I catch kicks, but not like, it's not something that I've just started doing it more frequently in sparring.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's always on my mind.
Not an instinct.
Again, no. Right. For me, it's all striking, you know, and checking kicks. Yeah.
So we did say, you when we talked about you versus Will, you kind of went on to the points that you thought that, you know, that you worked on and stuff. Was there any key points that you were really happy with in your performance? Because whenever you watch the fight back, Lewis Armstrong and Macaulay Lowe in the commentary, they do say about your boxing. Because Will had a bit of an unorthodox stance in like the first and second round.
Yeah. So, well, I went into that fight expecting him to teep my head off and bring me into the clinch. So like keep me far away and then bring me in and get away. And it just didn't happen. That wasn't his style, you know. So I was able to, you know, box him a bit more than I thought I was ever going to like be able to.
Yeah.
I actually, so I showboated and like called him on.
Yeah.
And not long after, I kicked him and he was a bit too far away, and I ended up hurting my foot. So I did have to rely on my boxing. So I hurt my right foot, and it didn't really feel that good. So I did slow down, you know, and I laid off of doing a lot of kicks.
What was your instructions in between rounds from Martin? What were you getting told? Or do you remember? Because that's one of those things.
I can't remember. I think it was.
Because obviously Martin would have known that your foot was hurt, or didn't you tell him?
Yeah, I mentioned, and then it was like, fuck. So it was Martin, Harry, and Charlie. So Martin and two of his sons, and one of them was like, I told him about my foot. I was like, I hurt my foot. And then he goes, no, do you want to win? I go, yeah. He goes, fuck your foot, right? Fuck your foot, all right? And then I was like, yeah. Martin was talking about, throwing the 1, 2, 3, and then peppering him with like low kicks from either leg. And that was it, I think. I remember him telling me, you got this. You just don't stop. Keep going. On a few other rounds, he said. But yeah, I think it was mainly just use the hands and then low kicks.
When did you feel that you took it? When did you feel that you were confident you were going to win the fight? Do you have a moment, or was it just at the end?
I wasn't confident that I'd won the fight. All I was doing was focusing on hitting, and hitting hard. I expected to win, but I also expected to lose. Like, both, like, in my mind, equally, 50-50. Yeah.
Fair. Was there anything else that stood out to you? Obviously, you said about the things that done well and all that type of stuff. Was there anything else within the fight or within, like the crowd, or was there anything else that stood out to you?
If I'm honest, when I was looking out into the crowd, or like you got the balcony, and then you got everyone down. The balcony was lit up nicely, so I didn't really see anyone's faces.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I could just hear audio, which was, I quite like that, not being able to see the people that are watching me.
Yeah.
And then downstairs, I had, a couple of people come to watch, and that I could see these people, but like I'm not looking down, am I? Into the crowd, I'm looking straight on, which is balcony, and it was just the atmosphere was awesome. I half expected to go up there and only be able to hear my mum and a couple of my mates shouting, but everyone was like, at some points I could hear everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Also, like when you go to fight shows, especially fight shows in a venue like that, like everyone is there because the atmosphere is already riding, and you got the noise and stuff. The atmosphere just rides all night. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like it'll stick at a volume, and it'll just kind of like ride the way through, and that's what I found. Like obviously the times that we've done it there, it kind of like doesn't matter if it's the first fight or the last fight, it's the same pop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what I mean.
Is there any other fights on the card that stood out to you when you were fighting?
Yeah. So it was Joshy Williams and Jed. So that was a quick fight.
Yeah, good fight though.
That was a quick fight. I just like seeing people get dropped, if I'm honest. And he did it quite nicely.
Yeah.
Dropped him once and then knocked him out,
Joshy's Apollo Sports, so that's my gym. And so Jed actually, it was the boxing coach for Team Savage, and he stepped up. I think it was like a week's notice or something like that.
Right. Okay.
Dude, honestly, like Joshy was saying, he was like, bro, he's like, I'm not going to say I'm more nervous for this one, but like this one was a bit more of a test because it was 3-minute rounds. We kind of, it was going to be hybrid, see. And
all right. What gloves were they had on?
Fours.
Fours.
Yeah, but they fought in 10s. So that was with the plan. So what we are trying to do is we are implementing the BKB and the BKFC rules of the dirty boxing and the 3 minute rounds. So for hybrid, that's what it's doing. So Josh is actually main eventing August 29th, and he's fighting Dave Jones for the FFC 65 kilo hybrid title. So they are fighting in 4 ounce gloves.
They 4 ounce gloves.
4 ounce gloves.
Oh, that's gonna be wicked, that, isn't it?
Yeah, the fucking
Yeah.
scrap too. You know. But like you said, you just like seeing people get dropped. Have you seen Brad Couch versus Cohn as well? Have you watched that one?
Yeah, I watched that one. That
That
was
one,
hybrid, wasn't it? That was
that,
good.
yeah, that one's just fucking
Yeah.
chaos.
Mm.
You know, that one was fucking chaos. And there's another good fight from the last one was Toby Ward. Did you see that one? I don't know if you would have. That was, I think that was just after you guys or just before you guys. Toby Ward, he got KO'd by one of the boys from Team Savage. Overhand right. Same kind of thing as what happened with.
Oh no, yeah. I think so. So.
The overhand right. Yeah, and that's the thing, innit? Shorter fighter, longer. You know, when you get in close, especially on that corner, you can throw that overhand, and when it lands, it's fucking. It could be good night, like.
Mm. Another thing that I like is how small the ring is.
Yeah, yeah. We always from the first one we've pushed for that, and the only reason being right is like I'd rather have the ring where it encourages you to fight. I'm not going to say where you can't run, but like because of the venue being so compact anyway, I think that like
Yeah. It's good. It's good for the venue.
yeah
And it just keeps everything going.
yeah, it brings out the most
Yeah.
in the fighters as well. I found like it's still 16 foot. You know, it's not too small. You know, it's not the size of a trigon or anything like
No.
that. But it still it still just encourages action, and that's what we're trying to push. Do you know what I mean? Like when you have, especially when it's a mix of disciplines. You know, when it goes boxing, K1, and Thai, like you have a lot of people who kind of because they don't know too much about one, say, you know, they kind of get lost in watching it, and that's one of the other reasons with the ring. It just encourages you to fight. Do you know what I mean? You can't run so much.
Yeah. So it not that I was saying is too small because I wasn't, but when
No.
you're in there, you notice that there's not a lot of room to run around.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the
Yeah.
one. The one
Good.
thing. Yeah, the one thing I tell all my fighters, right? When, for example, same thing I told Cohn when Cohn fought on BKB in Carnage and Cardiff,
Mm.
is feel the ring. Like get in the ring and move around it. Because in between you getting in and your opponent, you've got that opportunity where you can kind of like I say skip around the ring, but you know what I'm saying, don't you? When you kind of like feel your way around. So
Mm.
it's not alien the first time you're moving around. Do you know what I mean? That's like one of the biggest things I always push. And especially when you fight in some rings, they're softer, some are harder, some are, again, like we said with the size. You know, I always say that's one of the things
Canvas.
yeah, with the canvas.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel like you sink into the canvas. Then that's one of the things that we do in my gym's ring is we put in the foam,
Yeah.
like the mats. We put the mats in so you kind of like sink in, so it zaps you out a little bit more. It just makes it fucking worse, if I'm honest.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So what was your initial impression of Rhondda Rampage? Obviously, you said that it was another good fight that you fought on. Obviously, you said about the venue and stuff, but what was your initial impression? Because it's quite the everything is, as we said, compact, isn't it? You know, when you walk into the venue, like the first thing you see is the stage and the ring and stuff, and then obviously you got the balcony.
Yeah, right. So the first show, it was, just upstairs in like, well, it's like a pub, When Martin said that, I'd be fighting Will on the Rampage, I sort of looked at it. Jacob said, oh yeah, it's a good show, it's a good promotion. And then I checked it out, and I was like, what? I'm going to be fighting there, like, do you know what I mean? So it looked good from the start. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, yeah. Another thing that interested me is that you guys are on 7 now. So this one coming up is 7. So you haven't really been around for long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're still building.
Yeah.
Which is another sick aspect. Like, do you know what I mean?
And we thank every single one of you guys. Like, Egos have been around. Charlie was supposed to fight on our second one, I think, or third one. His opponent didn't fucking show up, bro. Like,
didn't show up or like pulled out?
No, didn't show up.
Didn't show up. All right.
So like Charlie and like Martin and obviously you guys from Eagles have been with us from the first and second one. So like we obviously appreciate it. And the other side is you are right. We are still building, and that's one of the things is like we want to be a show that people come back to. You know, like that's one of the things that we want to keep encouraging. Just because it's different opportunities, isn't it? You know, like you're fighting somebody from fucking Banbury. No, sorry. Jacob is fighting somebody from Banbury. You know, that's
where's that?
3.5 hours away.
You
know, so it's like giving an opportunity so you're not fighting the same people who fought somebody else from your gym, but on a different show. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
there's variation.
Yeah.
Another thing is, so with Rhondda Rampage, you got hybrid.
Yeah.
K1.
Mm-hmm.
N-class Muay Thai. And then, you know, whatever other classes of Muay Thai there are.
We're currently working on something in the Muay Thai space. We're currently working on something as well. Yeah. So it's like some other stuff that we're still working on, you know. So there's other things that we're trying to get across the line before the show, you know. And again, I'll be honest, man, like for us, that's all it is it's about you guys. We just want to get you guys to give you the best opportunities to fight the best people and you know, like that's what it's like. And the best night as well. Like that's one of the biggest things for us is like we want you to always enjoy coming back and enjoy the environment, enjoy the fucking the venue, you know. So on to the fight then, right? On to the fight with Jordan. Just tell me straight away, what's your thoughts straight off? How do you think it's gonna go?
Shaky. I don't know. It's a bit shaky.
Yeah.
I believe so. I watched one of the other episodes, and I believe Korn did a BKB fight camp.
Yeah.
If Jordan was involved in some of that training, you know, I think he'll have an advantage, unfortunately, with you know, cardio. Yeah, he said something, you know. I think he said he hopes that I come out with a bit of confidence off this last fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just going to be fireworks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that like we want because I'm not going to say that Jordan's a grappler, but like Jordan has fought MMA. It was a while ago, but Jordan has fought MMA. He did start in MMA. When you said about Colm with the BKB thing, with the BKB, I get that, but then the other side is they like gladiators kind of if Colm's in camp, they're all in camp. Do you know what I mean? Like that. That's the kind of.
This is what I mean. He might have a bit of an advantage.
Bro, I'd be honest. Like you were preparing yourself as well, and you know we all know. Like everyone knows the Eagles come to fight as well. We all know that Martin's putting you through the fucking work, putting you through the grinder. Like so, we all know that you're coming. I wouldn't say he's gonna have an advantage. I definitely see this fight being a very good matchup. That's one of the things that I will say. I am really excited because it's that thing that like we've seen you fight before, you know. So it's like we know that you do come to fucking go, and then with Jordan, we do know that he comes to have a go as well because obviously as I spoke to him, you know, he is expecting fireworks and you said about it yourself. I think that it with the smaller ring and the venue being it is, I think it's going to bring out the best fight in both of you. I think.
Yeah. All right. I don't really know what to say. You
Yeah,
know, I don't want to set myself up for failure. You know,
I got you, dude. I got you. I,
there's no way of saying what's going to happen, who's going to win. You know,
mm,
in the ring, you can throw something, and you know, get countered, and then you're on the canvas. You know,
yeah, yeah. Shit happens, doesn't it?
you can go to knock someone else out, and they could throw. You know, say you threw a jab, they could slip and come up with like, you know, a sort of angled hook, clock you on the chin, and then you falling back. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
There's there's no way of knowing who's going to win. You know,
No,
people can, fighters can believe that they're going to win. It does help. You know, but that's I'm not like that. You know, I'm not going to go into this believing wholeheartedly I'm going to win. I'm just going to go in there, scrap.
I like the attitude. I like the attitude. You're quite honest with yourself, and you're honest with. Yeah, I like that. You know, you're quite honest with that. That's cool. I think you're using that to your advantage. If I'm totally honest. You know.
Another thing is the last fight towards the last, you know, well, no, the last 2 rounds, I had to sort of like pull from, you know, emotion, you know, like what if I lose, you know, what if these people that have come to watch me, you know, do something I love after watching me lose, like, so when I was flagging, I did pull from like, you know, some stuff up here, like, and if I have to do it again, I will.
So how's fight camp gone? How's prep gone?
Fight camp is gone good. It's gone really good. Training 5 days, and then you know doing some S&C on Saturday and Sunday where I can.
Mm.
The assault bike is big help. You know, if I feel like I'm not getting you know what I need from sessions, then I'm going straight to the gym and I'm doing rounds on the assault bike. But usually it's me overthinking it. And I have had a good workout with Martin at the gym. Sparring's good too. Um, it was laid back until sort of, you know, 2 weeks ago. And now we've sort of turned it up. Shark tanks, stuff like that, which is really good prep. But if Jordan has done this, you know, fight camp, then, you know, I can't leave it to chance.
Mm. And I think that's another thing that brings out the best in this fight as well, from my side, and definitely from a fan side. Like
Mm.
you understand what's in front of you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're not underestimating him. You're definitely taking it. You're taking it seriously, and I think that that's one of those things that people need to like that people will see on August 29th is the fact that you've taken it seriously as well. And I think that that's going to shine through in your performance. And I think that between the two of you, it's going to be it could lead to being a fight of the night. Do you know what I mean? Like especially with
I
the way
mean,
you're taking it, you know.
if he's expecting chaos, I'm expecting like organized chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my last fight was so chaotic, this one, obviously, I'm going to be throwing as fast and as hard as I can, but it's going to be the most technically sound that I've had so far.
Mm.
And if it's not, then, you know, I was just chatting shit.
So we said about Jacob being on the card as well. Does it help having a teammate on the card?
Yeah, it does. So there's 3 of us in the gym that are training for fights. So with Jacob, we're doing all the same stuff inside the gym. No idea what he's doing outside of the gym, but he's in shape. He's ready. All it is now is, putting the finishing touches on a few things. I think he's going to win his fight. Yeah, he's going to get technical, I reckon.
And that's Jacob Lord versus Rob Tennant from Striking Clinic. Jacob comes in 0-2 and Rob is 1-0 at 70 kilo, 3-2s, sponsored by the welfare. That again, that's another good fight. Like I said, one of the things that people can definitely expect with you guys is you come in ready to scrap, and same as the Striking Clinic boys, and they're coming down to fight as well. That's the guy that I was saying is from Banbury. They're going to come down, and Jacob fought on the show before, when with a head guard, and I look forward to seeing him without the head guard. Like you said, he's in shape. We follow him on Instagram as well. You can see that he's definitely putting the work in outside of the gym as well.
Yeah, so Striking Clinic has got some good fighters too, and I've seen a lot of their stuff on Instagram, and
Before we wrap this up, is anyone you want to give a shout out to, and what's the best way so people can follow your journey?
So on Instagram, it's Riddle Sliced. I think on Facebook, it's my full name, so that's Rhydian Edward Kieran Cummings. And I'm going to try my best to, post a lot of stuff, and then people will be able to follow the journey. Yeah. Awesome.
So one of my last questions then, what can the Rhondda Rampage crowd expect from Rhydian Cummings against Jordan Edwards on August the 29th?
Power punching, from the kicks to the punches, knees especially, long knees. Everything's just going to be explosive, as quick and as powerful as I can. And I'll be trying my hardest to check full force kicks and, do some damage on defense as well.
Awesome. So that's Rhydian Cummings versus Jordan Edwards, 72 kilos, K1 10-ounce, 72 kilo K1 bout, sponsored by Dan Scrans. We've also got Jacob Lord versus Rob Tennant as well from Eagles versus Striking Clinic. That's Rhondda Rampage 7, August 29th, Tylorstown Welfare Hall, home of Rhondda Rampage. Doors open at 5, first fight's at 6. Standing tickets are available from fighters directly, or you can get balcony tickets on box, but they are 50% sold out, so just so everybody knows. I just want to say a big thank you to the show and bout sponsors Flow Fight with FFC Podcast, Captured by Jazz, Combat Parkinson's, Box Combat App, Nails by Sancha, Liam.W Design, Dan Scrans and Tylorstown Welfare Hall. Thank you for everyone for supporting Rhondda Rampage, and we look forward to seeing you all on Fight Night. Thanks very much, guys, and thanks, Rhydian, bro. I really appreciate you joining me. Thanks very much, Brad. Have a good evening.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Brad. Bye, everybody.
I'm ready for war. I'm ready for war. Always up with me. I'm ready for war. 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 I come from taking losses, throwing crosses every day.